Hello, 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 Ganja goons out there. We are here with Brandon Styles from MediToken. MediToken did reach out to me and they said, "Hey, Teddy, we would love to do an AMA with you." So I said, "Hey, I would love to bring MediToken to my viewers. So let's do a promotional AMA." And we are here. So, Brandon, you want to explain a little bit of yourself before we truly get into it? How did you get involved in crypto? What brought you to MediToken? What is the concept that you're trying to bring to the investors?
Yeah, so a little bit about me. Crypto wise, I started back in probably 2012, 2013. Bought some Bitcoin back in the day and didn't know I was sitting on gold back then. So kind of just had a Bitcoin and kind of forgot all about it, ended up losing like the access to it. Took a break from crypto for several years. Then I started to get back into it probably 2019. And then the pandemic hit 2020 and I had a lot, not so much free time, but I had more time on my hands to really dive deeper into crypto and take it more of a full time kind of aspect. So I kind of got heavy and full time in crypto. I would say 2020. Um, yeah, since then I just been just learning and investing and doing everything I can to be a good investor and a good dev. And so MediToken, how it started was, so the pandemic hit, got to see a lot of people going through like whole type of struggles, stuff like that. But then I realized like the healthcare industry or the healthcare sector, like your nurses, your doctors, your clinics, your hospitals, they were getting hit real hard, and you could tell they were getting overworked and they were like understaffed and like under resourced and everything. So I thought, you know what, crypto is an awesome thing. Tons of money in crypto. It'd be real cool if we could find a way to funnel some of that money to like the healthcare industry and that sector and all that. And I said, well, why don't you just make a token that does that? So that's kind of like how MediToken started.
Mm-hmm. So I know I'm gonna dive right into it, right? So MediToken, what is the purpose? You started it while during the pandemic. You're like, hey, I need to build a token. What made you want to start to build a token? Like, what really got you into, hey, instead of investing in other tokens, let's go create one. This idea doesn't exist or something. Like, did something of that sort happen to you?
A little bit of both. So yeah, so one, like the idea wasn't out there. Charity tokens really weren't like big. You starting to see a whole lot more charity tokens and tokens doing charity work now. But when I had started thinking about all this, charity tokens like wasn't even like they were minimal. Like it was like almost none out there. So I thought, all right, that'd be cool. We had something like that. And then on top of that, being an investor, you have your shares of your rug pools and your honeypots and teams that really don't put 100% into projects. And I had my share of those. And I always thought if I could do my own project, I would do it the way it should be done. And I was like, well, you know what? Why not just go ahead and try it? Like everybody's out here making a token. Everybody's out here pumping out coins, get 100 coins a day, it seems like. I said, well, okay, it can't be that hard. So I did my homework and while I was an investor, I did my homework. So, okay, I can do this. And then I just said, you know what, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, and no, this makes sense. So the main question that people will ask is, how is a charity token going to be profitable if I hold it, if they're giving away all the money that I invest into it? How do you respond to that?
So that was it's a good point, because I realized everybody's into crypto to make money. Everyone. Like if anyone says they're into crypto and not make money, they're probably not really being truthful to you. So with that in mind, I'm like, okay, well, how can you make it profitable and make it appealing to investors? And so the purpose of how we do that is full utility. 3% of our tokenomics goes towards charity. However, you still have like 1% for 1% for burns, 1% for liquidity, 1% for reflections. And then the dev and marketing, we get 5%. So only 3% of every transaction buy and sell goes towards charity. You got a good 2%, the burns and reflections. That's more of a holder aspect. And then on top of that, we got tons of utility we want to plan out, like play to earn games, NFTs, health and fitness apps, working on a blockchain, a wallet, staking. So we got tons of stuff that, any investor that comes to our platform and comes to our project, they say, okay, this is clearly something I can invest and make money while doing something for the greater good.
Right. So I don't know. I guess I'm trying to answer the question, right? So we are now investing in a charity token. When it's taxed, when I do a buy or sell, 3% is going to the charity wallet. And I believe you guys have already donated from this charity wallet, right?
Correct. We've donated
So
over 40,
when
40K.
that donation happened, did that increase the price or did that decrease the price?
So the donation didn't increase or decrease. Well, so like our taxes, money comes out of the tab of our, so our token, it gets we get our token from our taxes, and from that we got to convert it to ETH. So
Right.
so we trickle a little bit of ETH per every sale, do that conversion. So it doesn't hit the chart heavy. So you don't see a heavy price impact when we do convert our tokens from Medi Token to our ETH.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so when we do our donations, though, it doesn't affect the chart. You don't see it. No one sees that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that because you already have that the transfer happening in the contract where it automatically changes to ETH, or are you doing a manual sell to get that ETH?
Automatic.
Automatic. Okay, so then it's definitely not going to impact the price. It's already converting it to ETH. You're already there. So when you take that ETH out, it's not too much of an impact.
Right.
How did you find your developer in blockchain? I'm assuming you're not the dev, right? I've seen on the website it's Robert C as the
Yep.
developer. How did you approach him with this idea? And it's like, hey, I want to do this. It's a charity token because no one else, now there's other tokens like Platonesos entered the market. But for you guys, like, how did you approach a Solidity developer and be like, I want to make a charity token and it's going to be profitable? Did he have any feedback? He's like, hey, Brandon, this is never going to work. Or what was his reasoning for jumping on board to this project?
Okay, so so it's kind of a twofold kind of thing for him jumping on board. So you probably already noticed that this is Medi Token V2. So we had a V1. The V1 is a long story. I'll give you a short version of it. Basically,
Sure.
it was me, Lee, and Dan, and we had a blockchain developer that we got from another token, another project. That
Mm-hmm.
blockchain developer, come to find out, was a scam developer. So we were working with this dev on a V1 for about 6 to 8 weeks. We launched V1 December the 15th,
Mm-hmm.
2021. Within the first 4 to 5 hours of our V1 launch, we had about 125 holders. It was looking real good. Chart was booming. The blockchain developer at that time, we thought we had control of the contract, but we didn't. So he
Mm-hmm.
took control of the contract, minted new tokens, drained liquidity, and then he stopped all trading within our first like 5 hours of our V1 launch. So it was pretty much we were in a rug and didn't even realize we were in a rug.
Right.
So with that happening, we made it right with all the holders. So everyone that was a V1 holder, we did a V2 airdrop 1-for-1. So if you had 10 tokens of V1, you got 10 tokens of V2. So
Okay.
how we found Robert, Dan was out looking for people, and he had pretty strong ties with some people and some other projects, and they referred Robert to him. And then we talked to Robert, we doxed with them, met with him, did phone calls, video chats, all that stuff, got all his information, found out about other projects he had been in. And we were like, you know what, we like this guy, we can trust this guy. So we went ahead with him for our V2 launch.
Okay. So there was no loss when switching from V1 to V2. You brought all the holders over to V2. You've secured them. Hey, I understand you got rugged, but we still have a vision. You continued on. It wasn't like you got rugged and that's it. You're all done. You didn't want to do crypto anymore, because I've seen that happen too. Once you get rugged and you thought you trusted somebody, it's the worst feeling. It's like, dude, I trusted you. I paid you, and then you just rugged me. What am I supposed to do? As a token, I really commend you for continuing on with the vision. It's great to see that you're able to adapt and continue on because you want to stick by your value of Medi Token,
Right.
And really, that's another point I want to that Medi Token's targeting to donate to.
So, like I was saying before, so we're healthcare first responder focused. So most of our charities have been in some aspect or some form has been either a hospital, a clinic, or some sort of medical or health related like industry or need. We
Mhm.
donate to those organizations, and they've been all worldwide.
Yeah, I've seen the worldwide aspect of you guys. That's why I asked that. So I believe, what was it, Ukraine? Something you donated to recently?
So we got something going on with Ukraine right now. We're still trying to work it out and work out the details and logistics on Ukraine. Recently, we did several like missions in the Philippines. So we had a Philippines team member, and we got tons of Philippine volunteers that are Medi holders, and they were out there doing medical missions. You could say, like setting up health kits, health,
Yeah.
food, wellness, yeah, like doctor checkups, stuff like that. So we did that for several weeks over there in the Philippines. We do have a donation going to Guatemala to a missionary that deals with medical and educational. We everything's done, but we haven't like broadcasted, announced that we did it yet.
Right.
Something in Haiti we're working on. Like I said, Ukraine, Romania, a couple of things in the States, UK, so a little bit everywhere.
No, that is good to know, because you want to be able to be worldwide, especially when talking charity. You know, you're not limiting your audience to, hey, we're only going to help the U.S. and that's it. No one else gets help.
Right.
Brendan, and this may be a little personal, but where are you from? How did you come into finding these developers, finding the team? Like, how did you make these connections to find Lee and Dan? Robert, now I know, but like Lee and Dan, where was it? Hey, I worked in a previous company, came across, they were good people, or how did you find them?
Yeah, so I'm from Ohio. So I'm in Ohio, right? That's where I'm at. And I kind of in that Midwest area, like Ohio and Indiana. I kind of travel back and forth due to work. But I found Lee and Robert, I mean Lee and Dan, we were all in another token that we all met in. So before we launched Medi Token, we were in another token. We all met at that token. We didn't really like how
Let me guess, Saitama token? No,
Nah, it wasn't. Nah, it was not Saitama. Nah, but I got some Saitama though. I think everybody on our team has a little Saitama. I think everybody.
I have Saitama. I doubled down on my Saitama.
Yeah, not Saitama though. No, we met in another token. We didn't like how that token was being ran. We're like, you know what? We could run this. We can run our own token better than this. And I'm like, well, this is awesome. This is a great opportunity because I've been looking to do this anyway. So let's get together, guys, and make this work.
Yeah, no, it's clear there. So these two are from Ohio as well, or no? They're from.
They're not. So me, I'm Ohio. Lee is Florida. You have Dan, he's UK, and Robert is UK.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you literally are worldwide. You're bringing a
Yeah.
worldwide team over here. And now, other than the four people here, do you have others working with you that aren't doxed and listed on this website? Is it just you four powerhousing through bringing MediToken to life?
Us, the core team is powerhousing, but we have other members that are not docs, but they're docs either in our community or on like Telegram or something like that. But the core team, us four, we're the powerhouses.
Awesome. No, that is good to know, and I hope one day we will get all three in an AMA as well. And now let's talk roadmap, right? So you've gone through this roadmap. I am literally waiting for your first helicopter game. What was it called? Medicopter. Yeah. And how's that going? What is roadmap looking like? When are we gonna release?
So the game itself is completed. So what we're doing now is we are building the infrastructure. So our Medi Hub is going to be the infrastructure that's going to have all the servers that's going to hold multiple games, or next set of NFTs, or staking, and whatever else future utility. So we're building the hub now. So we're building that infrastructure. We've been working on that for probably the past month and a half or so. We're hoping to have this infrastructure done by the end of this month. If it's done by the end of the month, we can do our beta test on the Medicopter. And if it's smooth, and it should be smooth, we can launch either the end of this month or the beginning of next month for the first game.
And you've played the game. What do you think? Are you happy with the game?
Oh yeah, I love the game, man. I played it. Yeah, it's a nice little spin on Flappy Birds.
Yeah, I actually had my godson look at your video for the game, and he's like, "This looks like Flappy Bird. This is crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, it feels interesting." So we'll see. So what? In like, once you set up the infrastructure, then the Medi Hub, then we're gonna get the game.
Yep.
There's no beta test URL you can give us? Be like, guys, go check it out before you even integrate.
We're thinking about that, man. But Medicopter is such a basic game. The last thing you want to do is give it to somebody and they get a hold of it and they try to reverse engineer it. And then next you know, they find a backhole, a bug, and they start posting high scores on us. And next you know, we're paying the same person, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do want the hub secure to make sure they can't re-engineer the game. No, that's a good point. Now, who did all the animations and stuff for the game? Because even on the website, right? Who's your animation guy? Like, this is crazy. You don't see many websites where things are dynamic, you know? Like, I go to, for example, like Terrarium. Most things are pretty static. I come into you, we got, you know, blinking eyes, we got a moving girl. Like, how did you come out with this design?
So Lee, our web guy, pretty much like he has like full creative control. Like I give him an idea and he just runs with it. So I was like, hey Lee, man, like this is what I'm thinking. It's all you, man. Just show me what you got. And then he comes up with this.
So is there anyone on the team that's actually in the hospital venture?
Not on a team. Nope.
All right, but you want to help people, so you were like, "Hey, Medi Token's the way." And now I come back to utility again. So I have play to earn. I'm able to earn Medi Token if I play your game, or is it
No.
I burn Medi Token when I play your game?
No, you are able to earn ETH when you play our game.
I earn ETH when so I don't even get Medi Token. I get straight ETH.
Yes, you'll get. But the thing is, it's a leaderboard. So the top 3 to 5 people weekly will get ETH.
Yeah.
And it's Flappy Birds. So you know people are gonna be playing, posting those high scores every week.
Oh man. Yeah, they're gonna post high scores every week, but people want to make money with play to earn, you know, so they get ETH only if they're in the top 5.
Well, it might be top 5, maybe top 7, top 10. This depends on. We gotta see how much traction we get, and how much we get on that first week. So it depends. We're hoping we can extend it to something like 10 people, 15 people. This depends on how many people play, also.
Okay, I did get a question here from the chat. How many games in total do they plan on making?
Total, not sure. Currently, we have 3 completed. And we want to do an NFT based game, so we want to create that, and we have 2 more games we're definitely going to make on top of the 3 we already have.
Huh? Wait, are we allowed to know the other 2 games? Come on, for the Ganja Goons gang, you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us at least one. At least one.
Okay,
go to another AMA, drop the other one there. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so we got one game. It's kind of like based off of it's a driving game, kind of like a crazy taxi game, but it's more so like you're in an ambulance and you're trying to get through cities to get your person from hospital A to hospital B or whatever. So you're kind of like going through traffic and speeding through and running through lights and stuff like that. So we got a driving game, and then we got like a 2D scroller, kind of like a Mega Man game that's coming out as well.
Okay, dude, I have to tell you, I love Crazy Taxi. When Sega first came out, I'm a pretty 90s kid, right? So I was all about Sega. Crazy Taxi was awesome. It's like pick up somebody, drop them off. You can go through everything, right? Break stuff, whatever. As long as you get him there on time, you did your job. So that'll be an interesting concept. And now these games, are they web page only? Like I need to be on the computer, or are we thinking like Android, iOS as well?
So the Medicopter game is it is computer. However, it's web based, but the way we got it set up, the emulator is pretty much as if you were getting on your phone. It'd be like a mobile device if you were to get on. So it's
like
pretty.
I can go to the website URL on my phone; it'll still load. Like what's doing that? Shiba Adventures does that right now. Okay.
Yep. So it'll be like that. So any game that doesn't have like a really complex mechanics for the controls, we can do it that way. If it's something going to be complex, like the Mega Man 2D scroller game, we might have to do an app for that.
Okay. Now, how do you get from, what are you at, 500 or 600 holders to your first 1,000 holders? What's that roadmap look like?
So that roadmap is kind of keep doing what we've been doing, man. Keep it organic, AMAs, reach out to certain other projects, see if we can do partnerships with them. We've reached out to several already. We got some partnerships that are forming. A big one is Mandocs. We got a partnership with them, which is pretty awesome. So just kind of like reaching out to other projects and just seeing who is aligned with our vision and our views and how we do our project, and then build a community from that way. So we're trying to build it slow and organic.
Okay. So now let's assume that you're going to other projects, right? In order to grab one, give you guys more audience for your token. Swaps is one of them, right? Are you guys going to list on any swap, Dojo swap, or any other swap? What's the listing aspects look like?
Yeah, so listing aspects, we're going to do swaps first. Maybe Dojo swap, Shiba swap. Get in, do those swaps, build a better base, a bigger base, and then from there we'll start doing exchanges. And we've already talked to several exchanges as it is, so we got prices. It's more just trying to figure out which exchange will be the best fit for us.
Right. And you know, when you first approach exchanges, it's always pricing. They're like, hey, if you pay us this much, we're gonna list you. And then you're in this boat where like now you have 4 something exchanges, and you're like, which one do I start out first? Because you can't just, unless you guys are loaded with money, you can't just go all 4 exchanges, right? You have to be very strategic. Hey, let's first get this. This is gonna get us this much revenue, this much volume. Okay, now from this, what's the next token or exchange that I can approach to list on? So I think that's pretty cool. I think, by the way, just I am beta testing Dojo Swap. Still doing that, right? Dojo Swap, just for your own information and knowledge transfer, it's pretty much free to list on Dojo Swap. All you have to do is fill out the form and do KYC Certic. So if you're looking for something quick, you know, Dojo Swap's right around the corner. You're going to Dubai, it may be worthwhile. It's basically free, you know. So
I'm a big fan of the Shinja Army, man. Like I love those. I love that crew and that community, man. They've been a big supporter of Medi. So
and they're all community based, very similar to you. You know, they're like, hey, we're gonna grow from the community. You are growing from the community. There's no one that's like, hey, I'm your marketing guy, and these are the things that we have to do. It sounds like it's like you're authentic, you're community driven, and so is Shinja, right? So if you two partner, maybe you get to that 1,000 holders quicker because people see you as like, hey, it's a charity token on Dojo Swap. But at the same time, I'm not just limiting you to Dojo Swap. You could go to any swap, right? Or Everrise swap, literally any of these companies, and get pricing. And that's the route that you have to go through to get to that 1,000 holders. Now, in your experience, how long did it take to get to 500 holders?
It took us, we just got to 500, I would say at least a week, maybe a week ago. So I don't know, about 2 months. We've been out. We relaunched January the 15th. So we'll say about 2 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like with numbers, right? So how do you get to 1,000? Once you list on a swap, I think that gets you at least 250. And you have to find the other 250 or 1,000. I guess the real question is, how soon do you want to get to 1,000? Are we targeting this like, hey, this month we're gonna hit 1,000 holders, or is it like let them come and we'll grow?
So the game plan is always we want to get to this number, but while saying, all right, we want to get to 1,000 like in this month, we try to be realistic about it. Say, you know, if we don't hit that mark, it's okay. We got plans. If things go well, we plan on getting on a swap in this month, and if they go really well, we're going to do a swap and exchange in this month.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! I don't know if you've told anybody else that. I've gone through some of your AMAs. Even was listening to people talk about you guys on Twitter. I don't think anyone said that yet. That you guys, this is breaking news for the Ganja Goons gang themselves. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's gonna be such a catalyst for you guys, because you'll get to the 1,000 much quicker with that, especially with the swap and exchange if it works out.
Yep.
Any hints of what that exchange is that you're potentially looking at, or not yet?
No hints. No hints.
Okay, fair enough. So when it comes to your tokenomics, right, one of the things many people worry about is burn mechanisms, having too much initial coin, that the amount of coin that you have, token that you have, right? Is that an issue for you guys, or are you confident with your tokenomics now? Has anything changed from version 1 to version 2 that you didn't account for, or you learned from version 1? They're like, hey, we actually now made our charity wallet from 5% to 3% in version 2. Is there anything like that?
Well, I think our tokenomics stayed the same. Our supply, that stayed the same. We didn't change anything with the supply. Only thing we did change, I believe, is we upped the charity wallet from, I think we had 2% on the V1 and we did 3% on the V2.
Okay. And that's just more taxation. So what, 1% increase from the last one to this? I mean, 1% is not that bad, you know. So what else is in your roadmap? What is the next month looking like?
Next month, I think the next month, if the exchanges and the swap goes well this month, next month will be, like I said, we got a partnership with Mandocs. So we're going to be dropping a collaborative NFT. So it'll be a combination of our NFT and Mandocs NFT, like a mesh up. So
what? I've never heard of this. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. So like Mandocs is a super cool team, man. I love those guys over there. So if things go well, we can start working on that NFT concept and start showing people what that collab is going to look like next month. And then from there, we're just hoping we'll just ride that wave and then have more catalysts come in. We got other projects we're talking to and got some big things planned for next month if everything goes well, you know. But you never know, because people say one thing and things turn out another way. So
absolutely, I've seen that happen from token to token. So one of the things you brought up was the NFTs, right? Doing with Mandocs, doing a mesh type thing. So what that means is you're either creating a co-creator store where you're a creator, they're a creator, and you're sharing revenue from those NFTs, or is it they're listing on their platform and you're sending traffic to them?
So we haven't got that part figured out yet, because we're still in the talking stages of it. So right now, the Medi artist is working up the draft of the base of the NFT. Then he'll submit that and give that to the Mandocs crew, and the Mandocs crew is going to go ahead and add their like flair to that base. And then from there, we got to figure out, like you said, where's it going to be listed at or minted from, and how the split going to be of profits and all that. So we haven't got to that part yet.
I'll tell you from my experience from dealing with other tokens, look into co-creator stores, so that way you're a co-creator, they're a co-creator, and then people can see that revenue. Okay, every time an NFT is sold, Medi Token gets this much, Mandocs gets this much, and we can see, you know, what's happening from there. That's just something to think about. So you have an NFT artist, like someone. It's not Lee here.
No, sir, it's not Lee. We have a dedicated NFT artist. He's not Docs. Like, we know him, but like the public doesn't know.
Is he the one that made all these animations as well?
He is not. We have another artist for that.
You have too many artists. I need to know. I thought artists like to be known, so that way they get more credit and stuff like that.
Yeah, not our guys.
Nah, you must be paying them well. They're like, okay, we'll just hide out in the back, you know. Are we ever gonna bridge Medi Token to other networks like BSC, Matic, any of those?
Would like to. I think when we start doing our blockchain and the vision I have for the blockchain, once we start working on that, then I think that's when we'll start probably thinking about bridging. But we do want to bridge, but it's kind of like the timing of it, like when's the best time to do it. So we're trying to figure that part out.
How is the blockchain development going? You found somebody that does blockchain, or is it the blockchain developer has experience with blockchain?
So our blockchain developer has experience, but as you know, you need a team to do a blockchain. Like
absolutely,
one person cannot do a blockchain. So
I actually did the hours recently for a token. They didn't want to pay for a team to do blockchain. They're like, oh, well, if we hire one guy, we pay him monthly, and we take it from the marketing wall and pay this guy monthly. How long is it going to take? I did all the hours. I'm like, guys, it would take like 9 months, like 3 weeks, something crazy, right? They're like, well, we don't have 9 months, 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, exactly. How quick do you want to go, you know? And when it comes to blockchain, it's like that concept, right? It's like, hey, I have a ledger. That ledger needs to be validated. I need validation. So it's like, do I do a proof of stake type thing, you know? So many, many things are in the blockchain development itself. How far along are you with the blockchain development from what Robert has told you?
We're in the beginning stages, like the very beginning stages. So we got to figure out the proof that we want to, how we want to build on what proof of network we want to do it on. So we're still in that very beginning stage of figuring out structure, figuring out what we're going to do with it, and it got to be innovative. We just don't want to toss a blockchain out there like, oh, we made a blockchain. So it's got to be something that can actually bring value to the community and to like the whole cryptocurrency space in general.
I will recommend proof of stake blockchain over any other one. ETH2O is already doing that. It does take a lot to run a blockchain, but proof of stake seems to diminish that power need, right? Where people are just burning through power, whether you're trying to mine the token or not, because it's now the coin. Now it's your own coin, right? You're switching from Medi Token to Medi Coin, and then Medi Coin on this blockchain needs to have pairings with either stable coins or however you do it to establish that value. Now, we've heard of Mandoc. So let's say this blockchain comes out. What other tokens could potentially be listed on your blockchain? Have you thought that far, or still early?
So the concept of the blockchain, like the whole idea is we kind of want to make the space safe for everybody, right? So in a sense, like how we're kind of thinking is like when we do this blockchain and once we figure out how we're going to lay it out, we want to be able to limit the access that developers get to it. So we want to be able to say, all right, in order to get on this blockchain, you have to fully docs with us, KYC. We need all your information. Right. And once you get your information, we'll give you access to the test net, and then you can go ahead and deploy. And then you can deploy as anonymous, but at least we know who you are. So if you decided to do something, a rug pull, a honeypot, we can take steps to find you and do what we need to do to take measures against that. So not really sure who's going to be on that. I don't know who will be willing to say, I'll docs to be on your blockchain, but so we don't know that part yet.
So I'll tell you one thing, right? So one of the new things that people are now learning, and which is crazy because it's been out for so long, is multi-sig wallets, doing that liquidity on a multi-sig. So that way, if they try to rug, you're still protected. It's multi-sig. You need to validate that too for them to rug you. So it's like, that's been the new thing. So definitely consider that when talking to other tokens that want to list on your blockchain as well. It'll be quite interesting because now, I don't know, are there competitors in charity token space other than Medi Token, like in the ETH network that you're aware of that are doing charity?
Yeah, there's several that I'm aware of, and even amongst those several that we've built great relationships with some of those several. I can list probably 10 off the top of my head right now.
I can't even list like 9. So like Medi Token's the only one I've heard of. So you guys must be doing the most marketing out of the other 9, unless I just wasn't aware that these other tokens were out there. There's a lot of tokens. And that's the part, right? How do you differentiate yourself versus all the other charities? What makes you different?
What makes us different? I think the groundwork we're doing and in the division we have, so we have an LLC already. We've done that. We're also in the process of doing a 501c3 application. We already submitted our application, so that once we get that approved, we'll be recognized as a charitable organization. So we're already thinking down the road when regulations hit and then the government comes in and start wanting to know what's going on. Like we already have these things in place already. So that's just one aspect of like why you want to invest with us. We're thinking the future 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And then our utilities, there's things that we want to do with like our health and fitness app that I think no one has done yet. So we get that going, that's going to be pretty big.
I did not hear about this health and fitness app, but real quick, I had a question in my comments for one of my other videos when I was talking about Medi Token. Is there a white paper? I wasn't able to see it. Is there one?
So that we got the light paper, and the light paper is...
Wait, how do I get to the light paper?
All right, scroll up a little bit. Let's see. It should be under with the liquidity locked area, or maybe no, a little bit more. Oh, up some more.
Okay.
Yeah, up some more. Right there.
I see. They're looking for the word white paper. It'd be nice if it was here. I don't know. Tell the website guy to put it linked up here on the header bar here.
Yep, we'll do that.
All right, cool. So here you go, guys. There is a white paper. It's called a light paper V2. Let's take a look here. Reinvent how people donate to charity, how people support healthcare efforts worldwide, create a new phenomenon in crypto space. The three primary objectives. Are you still with those? Because people rewrite white papers all the time. Is this up to date, or are you going to update this?
So it needs to be updated because there's a few extra things I need to put in there.
Okay. No, I like it. I'm finally able to see it. I'll have to go through 1% burned, 1%. So that's the 11% buy sell. And this is the thing. Many people go, "Hey, Teddy, why can't the buy and sell be 10% and 9%?" Usually it's better to have both be the same. I think you can't change the buy sell to two different values. They both have to be the exact same and match up. So let me see here. Conclusion, marketing strategy. Sharing Medi Token with as many people as possible is a critical component. What is the marketing strategy? I know I asked early on, but what has changed from when you wrote this to now?
You know what? The only thing that's changed is bear market. It's the bear market, man. That's what changed when I think about it.
Yeah.
So the strategy had to be like toned down when the marketing, because in the bear market, you're not gonna crank out, you're not gonna do $20,000-$30,000 in marketing when there's no new money in the sector. And all the new money is out. You just got old money that's in a circle right now. And there's no point in pumping $10,000 in marketing when it's just the same $1.7 trillion that's been in here for the last like 2 years. So that's why we focus more on organic growth now, because it's like, well, we'll just grow organically, build from that, and then when the market picks back up, we'll ramp it up and actually start doing heavy marketing.
Yeah. And because you guys have Medi in your name, it already people are thinking medical, and then you already have relationships with hospitals and stuff. So it's like, okay, so technically, if that hospital markets you guys and be like, hey, our charity is Medi Token for those crypto investors, it's plausible your marketing strategy could boom like anything, because not only are you targeting how many hospitals are there in the world, now your marketing strategy is, okay, first let's get this hospital secure, now we're going to hop to the next one, and then soon you build an entire ecosystem of hospitals. They'll just shill your token to be like, hey, just you have crypto, convert it on Uniswap to Medi, you can donate Medi to us. And now talking about that, is there any, I heard you mention this fitness health app. Now that's, I will talk about that later. But this, do you have your own wallet? Is a wallet coming out just to hold Medi Token, or you can hold it in ETH, you can hold it on Ledger, and you're happy with that?
So we don't have our own wallet yet. We're making that. We're not making it, but we will make that once we get a little bit bigger of a budget. And that wallet, we plan on having that being like a Web 3.0 full-based cross-chain wallet.
Oh, that'll be cross-chain. And really the reason I asked that is because staking, right? Staking. That's been, everybody wants more, not only reflections. They want to be able to stake, get that higher APR, APY, so they get that return of investment. And this is what I think a lot of people are having trouble with. Now you guys are charity. I can earn more of your token. And you've already explained to me, hey, the price is not going to depreciate. We're already doing that conversion to ETH automatically. But when staking comes out, how do you generate more? Is that going to come out? Is staking a potential with you guys?
Staking is a potential. It is.
How's that looking like in the roadmap? Like Q3, Q4 this year, or?
I think that's probably in our Q4. That's gonna be, because once we get the NFTs, once we figure out the hub, the complete utility of the hub, like what all it's going to do. But if you go to our hub, you can actually go and click on the hub and you can check it out and see what we got lined up. And we have staking. We have the ability to start the staking there. So we've been kind of working on it, but we just don't really know when we're going to get to it.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I think it will be good because it'll bring more people in. You're like, not only are you getting reflections, but you can stake on top of it. You get more Medi Token back. But Q4, that's a good roadmap. That's, by that time, you'll also know your blockchain. Then you can figure out wallet integration to your blockchain. So yeah, that's very good. I'm glad to hear that. As far as the health and fitness app, right? Let me see. I wrote down something. What are you targeting? Where is it? Like, I haven't heard of this at all. Like, did you release this somewhere? Like, can you tell us more about it? Is it as simple as like I'm counting calories on your app, or like what am I doing?
No. So it's going to be. So we've kind of like talked about our health and fitness app here and there, kind of like in teasers. It's going to be what we have planned for it is we want you to be able to earn Medi for just doing, health and fitness related activities. But on top of that, we want to find a way to integrate that into hospitals and clinics, doctors, nurses. So maybe it'll be something where, maybe if you get X amount of checkups, you earn Medi. Or maybe if you do some sort of regimen your doctor has put you on, you earn Medi, like different type of incentives. So that's kind of the base of what it's going to be. It's going to be a combination of health, fitness. We want to get into some gyms. And then that way, hey, maybe you can sync the app with your iPhone or your Apple Watch, sync the workout together. It reports back to the app. You earn Medi or some type of cryptocurrency. So it's going to be big.
Yes. I do like this idea. This is what goes through my head. So I'm thinking of integration. I'm thinking of how difficult or how quickly you can get a health and fitness app. And I know you guys are early stage too, but one thing I do want to bring up is step counters. Everything has a step counter. Your watch has a step counter. Your cell phone has a step counter. Some of these new Nike shoes have step counters. If you can integrate step counting every step you take, maybe if you reach 20,000 steps, you get X percentage of Medi Token to your wallet. You've now solved the entire health fitness app because a step counter is related to fitness, right? The more steps you take, the more you earn. So if you do increments like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, which are different things per day that you can earn, and you put a cap on how much you can earn, you now have I'm giving you a full design. I'm giving you the full app right now. So yeah, go back to your developers, tell them like Tedi Ganja said, steps can be done. I can count them on apps. Like literally, I think if you do this with steps, I think that's a market because how many people are trying to lose weight? How many people are trying, losing weight is not just going to the gym, right? Taking steps, being more active, physically moving, right? And there will be those people that cheat. They put the step counter on their dog, they run, but you max it out so they're not draining the liquidity, right? You're like, this is the max you can get per day. That's it. After you reach this, you ain't getting any more. I think that has a very high potential to. I can totally see the health and fitness app take off more than play to earn because no one else is doing that. No one else is thinking of a fitness app that I'm aware of. Are you aware of any tokens trying to do a fitness app?
So I know one token. Well, I know two tokens that are kind of in that like move to earn realm that are kind of working on apps. I don't know if those two tokens have their apps yet, but the app that we want to do is going to be bigger than just working out and fitness. Like I'm talking about, like you said, steps. It'd be pretty cool. Let's say you got like sleep apnea, and then you're like, okay, my doctor needs me to wear my CPAP machine. I don't want to wear it. We say, okay, well, if you sign up with Medi, or if the doctor says, here, scan this QR code, you can get this cryptocurrency if you do your check-ins with your CPAP machine. So we're thinking about something like so big that we can hit every hospital, clinic, like kids up to adults, to old people, like everybody.
That is good to know. So another aspect of this, right? So I've worked with a fitness company before, and one of the things that they brought up to me was like, we want people to pay them to like they will pay you to lose weight, right? But the way that they pay you to lose weight is you're paying $500 to enter this gym. They're like, we'll give you back the 500 if you lose the weight. Most like 70% of these guys do not lose the weight. 70% of your sales are now kept. Now with Medi Token, regardless of whether it's a sleep apnea machine, you could kind of do that same incentive and be like, we'll pay you to use your sleep apnea machine. And if you don't, we keep it. It's a type of stake. Oh, that'll be interesting. I would be looking forward to that. I'd be like, okay, this is interesting. Like, do you have a name for the app yet or no?
Yeah, right now I'm MediFit.
MediFit?
Yep.
Okay, MediFit. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. And that will be Q4 potentially this year. We'll have a roadmap.
That's what we're hoping for. Yeah. But if we keep growing and if we get to the vision that I'm hoping we get to, like we'll have the budget to do all this and we'll be good.
Dude, the chat is going crazy with fit to earn. Like I'm telling you, it is such a new model that not many, like even gyms are now going to this model. Hey, will people pay us to enter? Yeah, people pay to enter the gym. Now, if that gym goes around and says, we're gonna give you that money back, that's a challenge. And I think that'd be an interesting concept. Hey, make a challenge in MediFit app. If that challenge is completed, you get your money. If that challenge isn't completed, we keep your money. And it could be a staking thing, like stake for 60 days. And in these 60 days, you have to prove that you've done it. Oh my God. This is great. I did not know this. Like, I feel like I've told you a lot, but you can run with it even further than I don't know what you were thinking before. But like, no, this is great.
Yeah, nah, that's you're what you're saying now is stuff that we were just kind of like formulating like weeks ago. Like, man, we can do this. We can have competitions. We can go in different parts of the world and have like
Yes.
fitness challenges and meet up with holders and say, hey, we're going to have like a come to this gym. We'll be here. If you're a
Yes.
holder, we get this and that or a bonus. So we've been thinking about this a lot, man.
Yeah, no, I can tell you have, because as I'm asking these, you're able to respond. You're not like, you're like, yo, we've already done this. This is the path. This is the thing. And I am hitting, we got 50 minutes left. Guys, in the chat, please write down any questions. I will continue to ask. Still got a few more for you here. So when it comes down to, you said something about polling in order to figure out which charity you're going to donate to. How exactly do you determine the amount? Is it just whatever is in the marketing wallet once you hit a certain thing? Like, is there a fixed amount before you do that poll?
So for the charity donations, it's not a fixed amount. So how we look at it is we look at what's in the wallet, the charity wallet. The goal is to space out and spread out things. So we don't want to we're not saying, all right, if we got 2 ETH in there, we're not going to say, all right, 2 ETH goes to this charity this month. Like we say, all right, we got 2 ETH and we know we have 3 or 4 donations that we want to do within the next month or two. We say, okay, don't we break these up into 0.5 ETH or something like that. So we try to break it up and divide it so as we're not spending all the money that's in the wallet on just one charity. So we look past the one and say, all right, we got 5 coming up. That's divided. So if worst case scenario is we don't get any more holders, at least we got this charity money we can spread out.
Okay. And when you do the selection of charities, right, some of the things people have been looking into is how much of the money you donate to charity is used elsewhere or is taken. Like there's ratings in charities, right? Is there certain ratings you're using for charities, or is it kind of like if a charity approaches you, you're considering to donate to them? How does the charity selection process work?
Okay, so the charity selection process, the first thing is that what we do is, so there's a site called thegivingblock.com. And that site, any charity that's on that site accepts cryptocurrency. So we go onto that site first off, and then we look at any charity that's health or medical related or first responder related. And we go and we pick out, like the team picks out, we'll say each member picks one charity from that sector. And then we present that in a poll, and then we let the community vote on that.
Okay. No, that is good to know. The chat is going crazy with that MediFit project, man. I think you have such a big project that if you could push it up forward, because everyone's doing blockchain, everyone's doing NFTs. But what you just told the chat today and the response we're getting, I think is crazy. I think this is literally a potential that could take off because no one else is doing it. Let me see here. This is a copycat coin. Get out of here. God said this is not a copycat.
No, it's not. Definitely not a copycat coin.
Every contract, every person that does contract, you have to use templating in order to make a contract. So it may come up as, hey, this contract is similar to others, but that does not mean it's a copycat. Everyone's utility is different. Everyone's tokenomics is different. You can change those with attributes, but does not mean you're a copycat at all. All right, let me see here. Okay, so Brandon, I never actually went through the personal questions. What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, nowadays, man, I don't really have much fun, man. I'm working. I'm a dev now, so I got to work pretty much 24/7, man. I made a tweet this morning at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. and I was like, crypto never sleeps. So
crypto never sleeps. I hear about this with everyone that starts a token. They initially start a token. They assume, hey, it's going to be easy. This is all you have to do. And then it comes, now you're responsible if anything goes down. Now you're responsible if that token doesn't come back and hit that all-time high, you're just constantly having to keep the investors happy, keep your community happy. And it's like you're always going to have people that hate on you, just because they hate on you, what are you going to do? What, it could feed into them and be like, yes, yeah, it's not a thing. So that's why I ask them, like, sometimes you have to step back and be like, okay, crypto world it's going to be crazy. There's going to be the people that support you. There's going to be people that hate you, and there's nothing you can do. So that's why I ask, like, what do you do for fun in order to just alleviate all this pressure that you have from crypto? Because if you're in the space, because I've seen it with even other token CEOs, right? They're so into this, like this is all they dream. It's like sometimes step back, understand. Is that something that where do you feel? You feel like you got a good hold of this? You're able to run MediToken, or does it get overwhelming for you at some points?
No, I feel pretty good about it. I got a great team and a great community, man. So I don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes, there's days you're just like, man, it's a lot going on. But I never felt like it was too much, or I don't feel like it's so a burden on me. Like it's all about finding that balance, right? And so the thing is, you're like, all right, well, like you said, you got to have fun and step away from crypto, and I do that. I'll go do some running, workout, hang out with some friends, stuff like that. But I'm a workaholic also. So
I can tell you work out. I feel like you do work out, and that's probably the best stress relieving you can do. I'm at the point where, like, you ever heard about the runner's high? Like, if you exercise enough, you get this like feeling of like, I don't know, just like your body feels like a high. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an exercise thing. It usually happens to me after like 20 minutes of working out. I'm like, yeah, like my body feels fit. That's kind of how like I look at cryptos as well. It's like you're initially spending all this time on your roadmap, and you're just trying to get to that high part where everything just starts working out, and that's the stages you're at. Because a lot of people can be like, hey, they only have 500 holders, they only have this much market cap. How do you get to the next level? It's like, guys, all we're doing right now is doing that first run. Eventually, after this first run, you're gonna hit that high, and that's the portion that we're trying to get to.
Yep.
So I do have to ask, price prediction. What is your price prediction the next 6 months? I'm not asking, tomorrow. I'm not asking like in 6 months. Where do you see yourself being, Brandon?
And next 6 months, I would like to see MediToken at least a good 10 million market cap.
Okay.
In the next 6 months, like something that's a pretty modest projection. Like obviously, I want to get more than 10 million at least.
Yes. Let me see. This Godson guy, I'm sorry we upset you, man. I've never seen you in my chat, but this is a first. I normally don't get people like this, I promise you. This guy seems to be very upset, and I don't think he was ever subscribed. So ignore this guy, please.
It happens. It's crypto, man. You'll get those people, man.
I literally was just saying that before I even saw his messages. I'm like, dude, you're going to get people that completely support you, and you're going to get people like, I'm going to unsubscribe. You're getting horrible. Like, how are tokens supposed to get audience out there? How are tokens supposed to be like, hey, we are here? If you're not getting on YouTube, you're not doing the Twitter marketing. Not everyone's going to do, hey, not everyone's going to be like a godsend guy, right? Like, hey, these guys are copies. You can literally say every token is a copy of it. Every token is a copy of Bitcoin. Every token is a copy of Ethereum. Like, these are just useless nonsense things. And it's great. I mean, if he truly has that IQ and he's able to make a token and he's able to do something better than you, then we should have Godsend. Everyone should be at Godsend's token. But he's not the one in the AMA right now. It is Brandon, the person that he's like, hey, I have a token. I have a concept. Tedi, I think you will bring it up to the people and it'll better my vision, which is, I'm like, hey, I will happily help you do this. Let me read into you. And that's what I felt like I was doing. But you are going to get people like Godsend. Ignore it, because it's only this AMA now. But, these types of worms, these types of mentality, they go wherever you go because they want to constantly bring you down. And I'm glad that you are ignoring it. But I do see in the comments he's going crazy. So
yeah, I see it too. It's all good. Just do it.
Yeah, no, I literally, it's fine. Because there's nothing you can do. These guys who believe in projects, maybe they've made, I highly doubt Godsend's made as much money as you have made, right? So there's going to be that initial, like, all these rich guys, they must be getting paid to do all this. And it's like, dude, you
Right.
don't know anything. You're just assuming things. You're just a worm in the chat, bro. So Godson, we do appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully your next investment is far superior. And I hope one day you will end up investing in Medi Token, because it's not a bad token. Everything Brandon has told us, I'm feeling super bullish about. Like, I haven't heard him say about the health and fitness app. I haven't heard him talk about the crypto vision, where he's going in this year alone, right? This is a true AMA, guys. So, like, we're learning about Brandon, we're learning about the vision, we're learning exactly what Medi Token's gonna do. But one question that did pop up that I never asked was, is play to earn the future for Medi Token? Because now, to me, it sounds like this fitness app would be a much better aspect than play to earn, because I feel like everyone's doing play to earn. I mean, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, everybody's doing play to earn also, and it's definitely not the future for Medi Token. Like it's Medi, like as you know, man, like every token, not many tokens start out with utilities or start out with stuff like off the gate. So you got every token says I'm gonna do a play to earn game and NFTs, and they try to get that hype and get people in. And some actually fulfill that, they deliver, fulfill that mark they was trying to make, and some don't. So the NFTs and the play to earn games is just a vehicle to get us to, like, innovative blockchain, an innovative wallet, the health and fitness app. So that's definitely not our future. You're right. It's kind of like just to get us to the next stage.
I feel like that's exactly what it is. I feel like it's a small stepping stone, and your real bread and butter is going to be this health and fitness app over anything else. And even when you told me blockchain, right? So some of the things that are happening in blockchain is people are like literally like, hey, you don't need to come up with your own blockchain. You can go use this quantum blockchain. We'll list your token, and you're doing it as a managed service. You come onto our blockchain, and it's like, now, if everyone's streamlining blockchain, is blockchain going to be the future? I don't know. The technology of blockchain's done. So that's why I'm like, this app, not even the NFT, this app that you've just mentioned is your utility. I feel like that's going to end up being your utility, and that's what's going to drive your token. Because look how crazy the chat went. They're like, oh, you can tap into this API. Oh, you can get your steps counts like this. They're already thinking, as an investor, the investor's like, okay, like I'm being super straightforward with you, Brandon. Like, as an investor, I look at Medi Token and I'm like, okay, so NFTs, everyone's doing NFTs. Play to earn games, everyone's doing play to earn games. Wallet, everyone's doing wallet. But what I heard that was different about you was the health and fitness app. And I'm like, wait a second, you told me so little about this, but this is your utility. Everything else is just customary to get to that next level. You need to level up in the crypto world. These are the things you have to do, but this app is really, I think, where your bread and butter is going to be, and it's going to be mind-blowing. And one other question we got from the chat was, is liquidity locked?
Yeah, liquidity is locked for until April of next year.
April of next year. And what are you going to do once that April hits?
We'll lock it up again. Like I said, it just depends on where the project is and what we're trying to do. So if we're good, we'll lock it up for another 5 years or whatever extent we need to lock it up.
Yeah, and the interesting part, your total liquidity is 100,000. Imagine that goes up even 90%. Right. You now increase the price like crazy. No, that I can see you guys taking off. I can see, if that marketing is done properly, how you could get to that next level. And right now, I'm talking to Brandon, who is what is your position? CEO?
Yeah. Yep.
CEO. Okay. Some people don't like titles. It's hard to tell. I've talked to tokens who are like, we don't use titles, but I'm like, okay, so you don't use titles, but everyone knows this guy's the leader. I can tell that with your vision, your plan, your goal is to make this token. It doesn't sound like you're going to run away. You're going to rug us. I mean, for anyone to do a version 2, right? Even after the version 1 failed, that speaks volumes. That tells me that, hey, you are about helping people, getting this holder count up, hitting your roadmap things. So you are doing right by the investors. And that's awesome to see, because you don't see that anymore. Now
Right.
What you see is like, hey, we're going to do a weekly AMA. Don't care what happens to the price. You're going to listen to what I say, and that's it. Brendan, you're taking my feedback, and it sounds like you're ingesting it. You're like, yes, this is things we've talked about. You're not just like blankly staring at me going, oh, yeah, I understand everything, blah, blah, blah. So it's a whole different it's a whole different type of conversation when you're talking to someone that's able to understand, that's able to see this vision as well. It's awesome. I'm glad I got to have that. Hopefully, this application does take off. And also, I have a lot of questions. I'm sorry. I know we're going over the time. I feel bad too. After this AMA, what are the next AMAs you have lined up? What is the next marketing marketing campaign that you guys are going to start?
So we got another AMA tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that's with Old Man Dave. And then after that, we try to do at least one AMA a week. So we got like 3 or 4 AMAs lined up for next week and the week after that. So it kind of really depends on what the market starts to do. So when the market starts to like pick up, we'll start doing more like real advertising, like YouTube ads.
Yes.
Like not so much like Reddit and stuff like that. So more like what a company would do, like try to make some like mini commercials, get them on YouTube, maybe some TikTok, Twitter ads, like actual legit ads that you will see Twitter like popping up on your feeds, like stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I'm very interested to see, because I've only seen the marketing that happens on Dex Tools or on like any of those crypto sites. I've never seen like a cryptocurrency marketing. It hasn't been recommended to me yet. So I'll be interested to see how that campaign goes, because literally in order to get more audience, you need to do marketing. There's no other solution, right? The only other way. Oh, got a $20 donation by Crypto Vern. Do you know Crypto Vern?
Yeah, I know Vern. Yeah, good guy.
You know Vern?
Yep.
Medi and Tedi. It does rhyme. Medi and Tedi. Come and get listed in Vault, brother. Your team deserves it. So I don't know if you know, CVT released yesterday. They sold out 1,100 BNB in 6 hours. They literally sold out. Yeah. So they got 2,000 BNB volume. They launched their token. And what their token does is you can do bonds. Like really, you can lock away your Medi token on their platform to be unlocked in a year, 6 months, whatever time frame you set. So that way people use that. They're like, okay, so when a year comes from now, I'm going to get X amount of Medi token released to me, and I can do whatever I want with that. So very interesting concept. And the audience that they're targeting, which is also in your space, is the healthcare industry, right? So the older generation, they may not necessarily know how to pull up a wallet on their phone, but they can go to a website, they can enter their email, they can send whatever to whoever's email. That seems to be a thing that many people can actually do. So definitely check out Crypto Vern's project. It's not his project, he's just the ambassador for it. But if he's telling you need to list on Vault, I would follow up. Now I've told you about Dojo Swap, I've told you about CVT. These are 2 avenues just for you that you can potentially look at and be like, okay, I should probably list on here,
Yep. I'm going to DM you, Vern. Believe that, man. I'm going to DM you.
He's going to DM you. He says legal. All right. This is awesome. Guys, I know we only have an hour. I feel like we need to do so much more. And I hope the next time you come on, Brandon, that we have even more catalysts coming out from you. Because right now you've dropped a bomb on us. And you may not realize now, but I think you will once you're done with me here, because there's so much potential here. And it's only going to grow as this utility solidifies, And I understand right now you're telling me, hey, the utility is play to earn and this. But to me, as an investor, I feel like you're wrong. That is not what your utility is. Right now, those are just small stepping stones. Your real utility is going to be this app. And I can see this app taking off, because you may have that because you're investing in your competition. But from what I've heard, I have not heard of anyone else doing this type of health and fitness app, integrating crypto as the reward system to it. I think it would be very cool to see that. Godsent is funny. Crypto Burn. Adrian, I hope you didn't sell. No one sold. I still hold out to CVT. It is very early. They just released yesterday. So definitely reach out to Crypto Burn, Brandon. There's a reason he came into this chat. There's a reason he messaged you, Guys, we do have to end. Brandon, any closing words from you, sir?
Yeah, I want to thank you first off, man. Thanks for having me here. I want to thank the community, thank my team. I can't do it without the community and the team, So I want to thank everybody. So every AMA, man, I'll ask the host to select a charity that Medi Token can donate on the host's behalf. So you don't have to tell me right now, but think of a
Okay.
charity that you want me to donate to, and then MediToken would donate to that charity on your behalf.
Okay, awesome. At first, I was gonna say Wounded Warrior Project, but I've actually talked to other tokens that want to donate. I guess Wounded Warrior Project only gives away 70% of their donate. I hate to say only, but 70% gets into the system. The other 30% is kept by them to run Wounded Warrior Project. So I'm looking for projects that have like closer to a 90% where that money is used. So once I have that, I'm gonna send it your way. And we can make it a Twitter thing. That'll be a great marketing. Be like, Tedi Ganja said, donate to this. We did it, delivered, signed. You know, so that's awesome. Awesome, Brandon. I appreciate you, sir. I have learned so much from you. And I think the best for your token, I feel like you're still, I'm already getting comments here. ALS Foundation. I'll have to check. I will let you know. But the first thing that comes to me is like helping our troops and stuff like that. So, Brandon, it was a pleasure. I've had so much fun today. Hopefully, this gives you that exposure you were looking for from my channel. I feel like I've answered or I've asked questions that are more technical, you know, really diving into your vision, your roadmap, and I think you've delivered. I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel like you did a great job. You really knocked it out of the park. So, guys, thanks for joining us. We shall catch you again for the next AMA. And yet again, I thank MediToken for doing this AMA with me.